There I was, on the top of the world, at the end of the time. Everything was doomed. All regions were infected with rot, and from the rot emerged the karma flowers. I had to see where I could spend my last days, watching everything fall apart. The state of the world was deplorable. All of this was caused by me. Should I feel regret? Since I arrived in this world, I have only known pain and the survival instinct of any other living being. I crossed a portal that took me to this strange place, Demon. Here, I found 3 strange monoliths, 2 lit and 1 dark. Maybe I would have to come back later. I had a clue. I had to find a way to turn on that last monolith. I had to find the clues. I had to listen to the spirits whispering the path. There I was again, in ancient urban. I remembered this room, but I didn't remember this machine. This was not here before. How did it get here? It seemed to be used to read the hidden messages engraved in the pearls. I had arrived at another region. It seemed I had seen it before, but in another timeline. It had clearly changed. There were locusts everywhere. I noticed there were whales in the sky. I had to pass beneath them so the locusts would not catch me. I found something strange, a kind of reward for my expedition. I found a crack in the air, but this one was different from the portals. It showed me the way to somewhere through the ripple space. There was some kind of trail, webs. An entity had passed through here before and left a trail of webs. What the hell was that? An echo? No, that wasn't. That was a kind of weaver. I had to follow him, only then would I find answers. Ripples, spirals, all of this confirmed my theory. I had to find the bottom of the spiral and escape the cycle that tormented me day after day. I returned to Badlands and found another crack. Every time I encountered the weaver, I could feel my body changing. My eyes were yellow, feathers grew from my tail. I was transcending, I was evolving. My evolution had reached its final stage. This was a good thing, as I was becoming immune to the rot. Then I decided to cross a portal, but something strange happened. What had just happened? The Weaver was helping me to close the portals with webs. My mission was clear. I had to find more portals and seal them. I had to seal all the portals I had opened. All the portals that had doomed this world to its destruction. Migration path. This place was full of traps. I had to be very careful or they would kill me. I had finally closed all the portals. Only one remained, and this one would change my path forever. What the hell was this place? I had never seen a landscape like this in my life. Someone was waiting for me at the end. The Weaver. I was here again, in Daemon. My transcendence had ended. The Weaver had left. Only one thing remained to be done. The third monolith was lit. It was necessary to use the ripple space to complete the ritual, but something was wrong. I didn't feel well, my reality was warping, and I was losing control of my powers. What? Here again? Why? How? Was this real or an illusion? I returned to the beginning of my journey. I did not understand why, but something told me I had to return to where it all began. Now I was in outskirts, such memories. I did not understand what was happening, but I could not let the lizards eat me. Not now, not after coming this far. echoes through, the toys, the sunlight coming through the window, the bed, the chest, the ball, the spinning top. I was going back to my memories. I was moving forward or backward. The throne. The end was near. I could feel it. The prince was waiting for me at the top of the throne. Here we are, at the end of it all. The prince gave me the mark of communication before I left. Maybe we were not so different after all. Even an iterator infected by rot is able to feel, is able to have ambitions, is able to survive. Other expanse, the journey's end. At last, I could feel peace, calm, no predators, no danger, only me and the end of the road.
The end was near. I could feel it. This place was where the ancients made their rituals. The place where everything began. The place where everything ends. No more cycles. No more loops. No more ripples. No more spirals. The path was straight. Thank you, oh, for teaching me that even in a world where everything wants to harm you, love still exists. Thank you for teaching me how to survive. Thank you for showing me that light shining through the window. I felt tired, without the strength, as if I had made a long journey. There I was, in the sea of void, terrified of what would come next, but I had to keep moving forward until the end.